think I'm good. I think it's set up properly. So I thought I'd free flow a little bit because it's been a while since I made one of these videos. And I'll be honest, like a lot of time when I make a video, there's always this apprehension, this nervousness. I'm just holding the breath, like I'm just not relaxed. That's what makes making content so difficult. Talking in front of a camera is a difficult skill. Um, Putting yourself out there, there's a lot of stuff that goes in your head that makes you self-conscious, and it makes these things difficult. But I wanted to free flow and just talk about what's going on in my business, maybe a little bit about outside my life, and just kind of riff a little bit because I think this is good for me. You know, this is like therapy, right? Even though there's like going to be 17 views on this, right? Okay, so what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about what I'm most excited about. So a couple things in the pipeline that we're working on. So for those that don't know, or, you know, I used to be a personal trainer. I was a trainer for like 17, 18 years, coaching people one-on-one. I ran gyms as a fitness manager in the fitness department at 24 Hour Fitness at UFC Gym. And then somewhere along the lines, I realized that after having a third child or having a third on the way, that I had to like find a way to get health insurance consistently. I had to make enough money so I could put my kids through college. I needed to become the man that I've always wanted to be. And I kind of just manned up and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to give this online marketing thing my all, and then basically achieved it, right? And now that I'm here, I've achieved it. And now I feel like it's not enough, or I feel like I need something else to chase. And anyways, that's a little bit off topic or kind of somewhere else. But the thing I will talk about first is the thing I'm excited about right now, which is a new business that we started or starting to service is VA placement. So that is placing virtual assistants, overseas workers in the Philippines. We have a pretty large team in the Philippines, a really great team. And we are very good at sourcing people and finding talent. And that's something that my wife is spearheading, who's my business partner. And I'm really excited about that because it's just a really amazing business. And it gives a lot of opportunity to those in the Philippines. And we're basically able to do a lot of good that basically we're excited about, but also it's profitable, right? So it's a business with really good economics. The other thing I'm excited about is the education platform that I'm creating. So we're going to do webinars, we're going to do teaching. I may do teaching, but it probably won't be me. And I'm more of a behind the scenes kind of guy. It turns out you can run a business and not do the social media thing. So I made my $1 million before I went in front of the camera for consistently. That's not true. I tried to make money by being famous or building an audience, but I wasn't able to take that all the way through. So now I'm doing it because, yeah, I think I want to monetize this. I do want this to become something bigger, like this making videos and stuff. But it's really, I think for right now, it's definitely more of a creative outlet and a skill building thing. So it's building marketing audience or teaching people, typically those that work at companies, to learn more about marketing, TikTok, Instagram, paid advertising, copywriting, all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited about that. That's going to be a pretty cool platform to work on. I guess I've just always wanted to build a brand, something that is like just great, right? I think that's all what a lot of us want to do. And then what ends up happening often is that we just find ourselves finding a place not doing that. Mostly because it's very difficult to do, but also because we all got to make money. We all got to make ends meet. And the idea of starting a business sounds great. But even though I'm in business and have some success, doing this kind of business is something new. So I think that's the hard part that a lot of people don't realize is that's the difficult part when it comes to this. Okay. And the difficult part is that, like, you know, starting something new, starting something different, there's risk and there's a good chance of failure, or you're going to have to adjust, and it's not easy. Like that risk of failure, that risk of not doing well is always there. It never goes away because whatever you make just won't work gangbusters out the bat. So I'm a little worried, a little scared, but I'm also very excited. So those are the two main things I'm working on. You know, the other thing that I'm actually really excited about too is just making content, right? I'm starting to get comfortable in front of the camera. I'm becoming less self-critical, and I'm just making videos, right? I'm finding things to talk about. I'm talking in my car. I'm talking outside. I'm just getting comfortable in front of the camera and just talking about things that I want to talk about. And the biggest reason for doing this is just I have a creative outlet. I have something that I want to share. I have things I want to talk about, and I want to build an audience that care about what I have to say, or just people I want to interact with. And when I say I'm excited because I have a team that we've built, right? We're hiring someone new who's going to be onboarded pretty soon, and then she's going to help with kind of figuring out how to work on finding the right content to make, guiding me on like learning different things and just kind of investing in sort of this long-term thing that I'm doing. Because this is a really long-term, like I don't expect to make any money out of this over the next, or I should say I do expect to make money, but I don't expect to be profitable, right? So that's the same thing, right? We're spending money, we're paying for editors, we're paying for talent, and we're just trying to build something that I don't even know what it is. And I think that's probably like, why not? Like I can buy a car, I can buy a house, I can buy more like Magic the Gathering cards, I can buy those. I can buy more electronics and stuff, but like what I really want to do is I want to do this thing that I've always wanted to do. And I've said that a couple times if you watch any of my content. And I'm kind of, I guess I'll just turn the conversation to sort of like is like, what is the thing that you've always wanted to do, right? Do you have that thing that you've always wanted to do that you haven't done? And I will say that I've sort of beaten myself up. When I'm not able to do something that I feel like I could do that I always wanted to do, I get this incredible amount of guilt. And I think a lot of people do. I think the thing is it's just not intense enough for people, right? Because when that guilt is intense enough or that negative feeling is intense enough, you just go and do it like it's an itch. I've said this before. It was, what was his name? David Mammoth on the masterclass about writing. It's about dramatic writing, right? And he says, why do beavers, chew on wood? And it's because their teeth itch. I don't even know if that's true, but it's like an itch that you just have to scratch. It's something you just cannot let go of. And sometimes in your life, a lot of the times that stop you from doing that, that's to stop me from doing that, is really just fear. You're afraid of judgment. You're afraid of self-judgment. You're afraid of people's judgment. I mean, the truth about it is everything is self-judgment. I think that's the hardest part to realize, is that no one is, people are judging you, but you can't read their minds. They can tell you what they're saying, but you still can't read their minds. Like everybody is not even real. They are just a projection of what you see. Like I'm seeing my monitors here. I have my camera here. I have my room here. Like it's all in my head. And when I feel other people are judging me, I'm really just judging myself. And if you can just somehow get your head wrapped around that, it's a really big mindfuck. It really is. Like if you think about it, like I'm judging you, the viewer, of how you're going to interpret me. But the reality is I have no idea what you're thinking. But for some reason, I feel like I do. I'm thinking of how you're judging me, or maybe I'm interpreting that you're going to take this as in a very positive light and you're going to take something from it, right? So, or I'm judging myself, like nobody's going to watch this video. It's all just in your head. And I think that the biggest message, I was writing this, I drive home from after dropping off my son at school. He's a junior and in high school. When I come home and I usually I listen to something usually, and one of the things that I wrote down is this. I wrote down, what you think about yourself is all that matters. And that is easier said than done, right? Because the reality is you are only yourself, right? I mean, at least in this conscious world, right? You are yourself. What you think about yourself is all that matters. And that is the thing that you need to change, right? A lot of the time when we get appraised or complimented or we do something, it changes how we think about ourselves, right? When we do something for other people, when we accomplish something, when we have a good days of work, when we have a hard workout, when we get some hard reps in, it changes our physiology, of course. Makes our muscles hurt, makes them sore, makes them stronger, it builds them up. But it changes the way you think about yourself. It's funny, I was talking to my wife about this, and she said this, it's about what I think about myself. And I say, that's a really good, you said that, because I believe that too. And I kind of think about what other people think, my team, my staff, my family, whatever, right? And then you just remember, it's really just about how you think about yourself. And that's the trick. Like if you can somehow remember that the only thing that matters in this conscious moment is about how you think about yourself. And if you can do something to change how you think about yourself, it's really the hack. And again, let's redo this too. Like think. Let's replace think with feel. How you feel about yourself, because they're kind of one and the same. When I say think, when I say feel, they are different things. But when we communicate to one another, and I talk to you, and I make a video, like think and feel mean different things, but we just use them as a way to communicate what's in our mind, or what I'm trying to say to you. But the truth is, they're the same thing. It's just that we're just trying to find, like, this pen is black. Was it Liar Liar from Jim Carrey? This pen is black, right? And I'm describing the color of this pen. I'm describing it. It has silver. It's, 1.0 millimeter tip or whatever. So like I'm describing it to you, but the color itself like is just a description of what we believe. It could be gray. There could be nuances about it. It could be like a dark black. It could be a matte black. It could be black with patterns, right? So there's nuance, just like with think and feel. There's a nuance to it, and I don't know if I'm losing people already, but it's kind of important to me because the thing is that when the thing I'm trying to communicate is that it is very difficult to really communicate what you feel and what you think to another person. It just is, because they are not in your head. You are not in my head. Hopefully whatever I'm saying brings the person I'm talking to value and it makes it interesting in some way. But the part that's hard to remember is that they're just not in your head. They can't read your mind. And there's just so much more granularity in the way that we talk to each other. Like too much. I mean, there's a lot more nuances and granularity that is not said, right? If you think about it, it's one of the biggest reasons why when you read a book, right, with no pictures and no video, or you do an audio book even, right, you kind of, especially if it's like a long book, like I just read the Mistborn series a couple last year and I freaking loved it, right? But I haven't read a fiction series in a really long time. And I just have a relationship with these characters. Number one, I spent hours with them, but also I spent time imagining who they were and what they did. And it's just a lot of time of filling in those nuances, right? That, because all of it's just text, right? Or audiobook, right? And if you think about that for a moment, there's a lot you have to fill in. Someone else reads it, they'll get a similar sense of the story, but the way they interpret it or experience is different than you. And when I'm talking to you, making a video or talking in voice, right, there's a lot that's not said about my mannerism, you know, if you're watching the video or if you're just listening, right, there's just my pauses, you know, there's a lot of the time I really feel like most of what we're trying to do is we are trying to see if you're real. We're trying to see if you're truthful. We're trying to see if you're being genuine. And that's not even accurate enough. There's more granularity into that. But like, and what I mean by that is like, does this person believe what they're saying? Often, sometimes that's enough to continue listening, you know, for some people. If the topic's not interesting, there's another factor there. But I guess where am I going with this? I don't know. I just know I need to talk in front of the camera. I like the video. Another thing too is when I make a video too, we also try to turn them into clips that we put them on TikTok. And I'll share this too. I'm not ready to put it on Instagram because I'm self-conscious and afraid. So eventually I'll get there. And also I'm saying this at the end of the video, like there's a lot, it's already like far along. So there's like almost nobody watching this video, especially these ones. You know, it does a couple things. I get to practice talking in front of the camera. I get to, my editors learn what I like to see. And we're just kind of just building things together. Anyways, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm done making this video. See you guys later.